Hello and welcome to the album man. It's time for CDs and vinyl I bought recently for January 2014, and it may already be halfway through the month of February, but well, this video still needs to be done, as I certainly acquired quite a few things in the month of January. And playing in the background, we traditionally like to have some psychedelia on here, because, well, YouTube are less likely to copyright strike me for it, simple as. So we have July's self-titled album released in 1968. Classic psychedelia record, definitely one of my favourites. Songs like My Clown, Dandelion Seas particularly, great songs. But yeah, and one thing just before we get into this, I started doing a Mixcloud podcast, the Long Live Rock and Roll podcast, radio style show where I play songs and talk about them, and I'm going to be doing a special for this episode of CDs and Vinyl. But recently I'm going to be playing some songs from the stuff I have acquired, so you know, you can get an insight, maybe some of the bands you didn't know, you know, give people an opportunity to listen to. So that will be linked in the description below on Sunday when that comes out, around about Sunday 8 PM. Look out on my Mixcloud page, follow, and all of that good stuff. So let's start the vinyl. Only a couple, and unfortunately I have been unable to listen to them because my record player has been playing up very badly, honestly. The right channel, it's always been a bit off, and sometimes it just doesn't work very well, and honestly it just pretty much died. So I could listen to the left channel on my vinyls all I wanted, but not right, and that's not really great. But got it in for repair, and well, it's come back today and it's working perfectly. They even clean the needle and stuff, it sounds better than ever, and that's awesome. So I can listen to stuff like a bit more Heart's Little Queen. My Heart collection's been building out quite nicely, actually. I have Bad Animals, self-titled, I have Bebe Lestrange, and now my favourite Heart album, which is Little Queen. I love this. I mean, it has Barracuda, which I'm sure many of you, well, how I discovered Heart, which is through Barracuda on Guitar Hero 3. I mean, just bloody classic. I love the song. But haven't listened to the whole album, well, not for a while. I mean, I have before. And a bit more Rush. I mean, you can never go wrong with Rush, can you? And especially as I didn't have Permanent Waves. And of course, this is the album featuring, well, Spirit of Radio, probably their biggest, most famous song. Also, Jacob's Ladder, which is a great song, but I haven't listened to the whole of this album. Definitely probably going to be the next LP I listen to there, now that my record player's working. So that's it for vinyl, I have to say. Not too successful until Cart Boot season starts, which should be hopefully in a couple of weeks. Then that's when the vinyl will start to increase, definitely when we get to spring and summer. So let's start with a band that I've been listening to quite a bit. They made my 2013 Albums of the Year list, and when I saw it on sale for £5 in HMV, I just couldn't resist. I think it was number 26 in my list, and that is Sigur Ros's Kaivaikor. I don't really know how you say it, but I think that's how you say it. And I've been enjoying this album a lot. Had I listened to it more so before creating my list, it probably would have been top 20, maybe even top 15. I've been enjoying this album an awful lot. It's just fantastic. I mean, towards the end, I'm still not a big fan of stuff like VAR, the 2 tracks before it, which I'm not even going to try and say. My favourite track has to be still is Yaki. That's fantastic. I love Brennestein at the beginning. Yeah, and Kaivaikor, I love the title track as well. Just a great album. Enjoyed this a lot. Really good post-rock. And so when in CX I saw one of their most famous albums for £3, I couldn't resist. Aegitus Briun. And I need to listen to this on my hi-fi. I've been listening to it on my phone, sort of going to and from school and stuff, and I like it, but it hasn't really grabbed me, not in the same way Kaivaikor has. I mean, this is sort of slow. I mean, Kaivaikor slightly more, I mean, I hesitate to say the word aggressive, because they're hardly an aggressive band as Sigur Rós, but for them, it's a bit more so. This, it's quite laid back, but I think it's now I could get into. I just need to give that bit more of a listen to it. Oh, now to me this was a bargain. You guys probably know how much I love Bob Dylan. I think practically every pickup video for the last almost year I've had at least a Dylan album in it, and this is no exception, because how could I resist for £3 in That's Entertainment to find Bob Dylan The Bootleg Series Volumes 1 to 3, where we unreleased stuff between 1961 and 1991, so covering 30 years of Dylan's career, and it's certainly very comprehensive. I honestly haven't quite delved into this yet, but there's an absolute ton of stuff, and I have to say, the booklet on this is one of the best booklets I have ever seen. I mean, this literally, it's this thick, it goes through every single song on here, all 3 discs, every single song, and talks about them in detail. So I can't wait to go through this, read along the booklet, and, you know, learn about some of Dylan's unreleased stuff. That'd be cool. And do alternate takes of his most famous tracks and stuff are on there. Now we're getting a bit more into the metal side of things. I've bought quite a bit of metal this month. And another thing I saw on HMV reduced to £5 that was in my top 50 albums of 2013. And I couldn't resist. And this album, honestly, again, is one that would have gone a lot higher. This would have been top 10 if I were redoing my list again. Queens of the Stone Age, Like Clockwork. I mean, before, recently, I didn't like Queens of the Stone Age that much. I thought they were pretty overrated. But I thought Songs of the Deaf was one of the most overrated modern rock albums. But I've been listening to that again, and I really quite like that album. I actually like it a lot. Oh my god. My God Is on the Radio. What a fantastic song. I mean, of course, you know, no one knows and stuff. But there's just, like, there isn't really a weak track on this. I mean, the ballads, The Vampire of Time and Memory, Like Clockwork, surprised me. I didn't know Josh Homme could do ballads so good. And of course, I Appear Missing, which is now my top 25 songs of all time. I listened to that song just a ridiculous amount. And then the heavier stuff like My God Is the Sun, If I Had a Tail, and The Wonderful I Sat by the Ocean. It's just such a solid album. It just doesn't let up. Every time I listen to it, I just fall more and more in love with it, and I can't wait to see what this band do next. And also, I really want to delve into their back catalogue. Stuff like Rated R, Rare, Vulgaris. I definitely want to check that stuff out. And if you have any recommendations of where I should go next on listening to Queens of the Stone Age, please do tell me, so I really don't know a huge amount about them. Now, this is, you know, my Slayer collection has not been great. I mean, it was only the other month that I bought Rain in Blood. So, you know, time to get a bit more, and I thought Seasons of the Abyss, that's good. That's the first produced by Rick Rubin, I believe, and I've always quite liked Rick Rubin. I like what he gets out of a band, even if I don't quite like the sound that he gives. He has a habit of, you know, the overcompression and stuff, but I don't know. And yeah, you know, awesome Slayer album, honestly. Been getting into Slayer quite a bit. So Paradise Lost, the gothic metal band, I've been loving a lot. So In Requiem, £3, I couldn't resist, honestly. This album is the one before Faith divides us, Death unites us. This is when Paradise Lost really, they start to get back to their heavier roots. This is when they get heavier again. It's not as good as Faith Divides Death Unites Us, but it's a good album. I mean, it's a strong album. It's not one of their best. It's a strong album. Definitely worth picking up, especially £3. Yeah. A classic modern album from a band I've never been huge into, but I'm starting to get more and more into. This album, it hasn't quite clicked yet. Mastodon's Blood Mountain. Now, I've had Crack the Sky for many years, and recently it clicked. I've been listening to that album quite a lot, and I love it. I really do. I think Crack the Sky is a fantastic album. This, it hasn't clicked yet. It hasn't. You know, this song, I really like Crystal Skull, Mortal Soil, Siberian Divide, that's a good song. Yeah, you know, I've listened to this a couple of times. It was good, but I don't know. I haven't quite been able to see it yet, but you know, definitely going to give more of a listen. Not going to give up on it yet. Okay, so some Caius. Found this in my favourite record shop, Quicksilver in Southport, which I always give a good old shout out to because I just love it so much. Going there once a week. Only a short walk from school, so yeah, that's pretty cool. And yeah, so pretty much what I knew about these guys was that, well, they're Josh Homme, and they were a doom metal band. So that sounded pretty damn cool. Haven't got around to it yet, but looking forward to it, definitely. And something else I found, considering Quicksilver specialises in 70s prog, These were just in the £2 section of the way you didn't know what to do with them, and I found Death Angel. Now, that was not a band I expected to find there. Death Angel, fresh band, got to, oh, I think when Dream Calls for Blood, I think that got in the top 50 somewhere. I think it was low 50s, that album. It was pretty good. It was a solid, fresh album. This is what this is, you know. They're not an amazing thrash band. They're not going to become one of my favourites, but for a good, solid, bit of fun thrash, they're good. I like Death Angel. You know, if I see their stuff cheap, I'll pick it up. You know, why not? Okay, so a good old 2 for 5 at That's Entertainment. One classic album and one album like, why not? Black Label Society releasing a new album, so I only have Order of the Black, you see, so I thought, why not delve in a bit of 1990 Eternal. I wish they had Blessed Hell Ride, because I've been meaning to pick that album up for years and years, and never have. But this is good. Good, solid Black Label Society. I mean, you can't go wrong with them, really. Their albums are pretty similar. I mean, you know, they're not known for their innovation, honestly. And now this is an album that's certainly a lot more innovative than that. Deftones' White Pony. The amount of times I've had people leave comments saying, oh, you should check out Deftones, you should check out White Pony, Deftones. I was just like, fine, you know what? I just went completely blind into this, hadn't heard a single track of it. I just thought, you know what, 2 for 5, I'm just going for it. If it's crap, oh well, it's only £2.50, you know, it's not the end of the world. And you know what? Damn am I pleased that I bought this. This album is pretty awesome. I mean, you know, I'm not saying it's going to get in my top 100 albums list, but this is a great, fun listen. I mean, you see, I'd always heard of Deftones. They've always been lumped into the new metal bands, stuff like Korn and Linkin Park and Limp Bizkit to an extent, and, you know, stuff like that. And I've never liked the new metal scene. It's always it's one of my least favourite periods in music, the new metal stuff. So I've always sort of avoided these, thinking they'd just be, you know, more new metal. How bloody wrong was I? These are not really new metal. I mean, you can see some of that stuff, that sort of late 90s metal stylings, but it's not. This is not new metal. It just isn't. I mean, Chino Moreno, what a voice he has. I mean, you know, the more screaming, harsher vocals, really good, but the cleans are just fantastic. Really interesting lyrics on here as well. Musically, it's a really interesting, diverse, innovative metal album. I mean, this was not what I was expecting, and it's fantastic. In fact, so fantastic, which will be on February's pickup, so if it ever comes in the post, I ordered Diamond Eyes from Amazon, so I'm looking forward to hearing that, because I just love this so much. Okay, so a bit of metal bought from eBay, and a band I've been meaning to get into for a while. Well, not that long actually, in a couple of months, but I couldn't resist. This was only a few quid. Neurosis's Honour Found in Decay. These are really interesting bands. Now I don't know that much about them, so if I misspeak on them, you know, don't hate me. I really don't. But I've been enjoying this. It's been a solid album, and yeah, they seem to, like, sort of be post-metal in a way, but also have, like, I get some, like, punk elements to it, like almost maybe, like, sort of crust punk type stuff. I don't know, I get a bit of Meebix in here. Definitely, I feel some early Meebix in here, and it's cool. It's, like, punk attitude of metal. I like this. This is a band I could see myself getting into. Yeah, need to give it more of a listen now, I have to say. But yeah, like what I've heard so far. Thumbs up for Neurosis. Okay, so again from Quicksilver in the £2 section. How could I resist? I'm just a sucker for the AC/DC remasters. As soon as I see them, and I've always bought them for £2. Never paid more than £2 for an AC/DC remaster, and I think I have for the 2000 and I don't know when this was released, but for the Digipack ones, I have Highway to Hell, Flick of the Switch, something else. No, not High Voltage. I have another one, I think. And now I have Let There Be Rock. Now, Bon Scott isn't my favourite period of AC/DC. Honestly, I'm more of a Brian fan, I have to say. But I do like the Bon Scott stuff. I mean, it's great. All AC/DC is great. And, I mean, this has, of course, a whole lot of Rosie, one of my favourite AC/DC tracks. I love Dog Eat Dog as well. Hell Ain't a Bad Place to Be. Just classic album. You know, what's there not to love about this? And for £2, remastered, it's in decent condition, and, you know, how could I resist? Okay, So lastly, a car boot find, the only car boot I've been to in 2014 so far. I found some really cool old school stuff. So, start a bit of 60s with the Kinks. And this is, the Kinks are the Village Green Preservation Society. Now, I don't know much about the Kinks, honestly. I've only know the singles, you know. You Really Got Me Going, which isn't the first metal song, but you know, that's a whole separate debate. And what really appealed me to this, I mean, except for the fact, I mean, it's £2 for a remaster of, I know I've heard this often referred to as one of the best Kinks albums as well. So one of the best Kinks albums, and it has the mono album as well as the stereo, and I'm a sucker for mono releases. I love it. Absolutely love it when a remaster has the mono version. I love hearing these 60s albums in mono. It's just so cool. That's how they should be heard. It's awesome. So yeah, very, very pleased about this, and I've been enjoying it. It's a good album. The Kinks, they are a good band. Defo pleased I picked that up. So, filling in more gaps in my Emerson, Lake and Palmer collection, how could I resist a remastered trilogy? Haven't got around to this quite yet, have to admit, but I think I now have all the good Emerson, Lake and Palmer albums. So I don't have Love Beach and the stuff, you know, around that, but yeah, I'm pretty sure I have all the essential ones now. I'm considering getting Wax. I don't know. I need to look that up, because I don't know if it's actually just like a compilation or it's actually like unreleased stuff, or I don't know. And lastly, but certainly not least, a bit of Eric Clapton, some Slow Hands. And this is the 35th anniversary edition remaster, released only in 2012, and it was £2 in a car boot. I mean, how the hell am I meant to pass that up? I've never heard this album before. I've never been huge into Clapton, but I mean, this has Cocaine and Wonderful Tonight. So it's like, okay, if I'm going to start with a Clapton album, except for Dirk and the Dominoes, I have that, because, you know, that's such a great album. I thought, if I'm going to start with a Clapton solo album, why not start with the one that has Cocaine and Wonderful Tonight? I mean, that just seems obvious, and yeah, this is a really good album. This is a very, very strong album. Enjoyed this a lot. And yeah, I mean, stuff like Ocean Boulevard I need to pick up, and, you know, a few other Clapton albums, but yeah, you know, Clapton, decent. I still think he's overrated. I still do. I don't think he's one of the greatest guitarists ever. I wouldn't put him top 20, but certainly a very good guitarist, good songwriter. So, this has been TheAIbumMan, CDs and vinyl I bought recently in January 2014, the first of the year, and I think an absolutely fantastic start to the year, honestly. And yeah, do check out on Mixcloud. There will be a podcast, radio, you know, style show where I'm going to play a few songs from some of these, a few select ones, some of the songs I've particularly been listening to, and, you know, hopefully you might discover something, you might not, who knows. But this has been TheAIbumMan. Thanks for watching, comment, rate, subscribe, and as usual, long live rock and roll.